All right, let me know, guys, if you can hear me. I know this is an impromptu Steelers Depot live stream. I'm doing a test stream since the last one that we did, Dave and I, about 2 weeks ago. Had some technical issues, some drop frames, and a whole lot of buffering. So I wanted to do a short test stream today to make sure those issues have been resolved or if they were still present and how I could fix them if they were. So if you guys could let me know in the chat if things look okay, sound okay, if you have any buffering in particular. Thank you, Kay Cabrera. I appreciate it. You should be able to hear me. I guess the biggest question is going to be just is there any buffering? Are you guys getting any lag, any sort of weird stuff going on there? So I appreciate you guys being here. Just a short test stream. If you have any Steelers questions, feel free to ask in the chat as well as we kind of just test this thing out. On my end, things are looking good. I'm not getting a single drop frame. The bit rate is good. So just let me know if things look and sound good. Thank you, Rod, and Steeler fan, and Pitman, and Simon from Barbados. Simon from Barbados. Appreciate it. Rod can hear me. Evan says sounds and looks phenomenal so far. I may be over the top, but I appreciate that, Evan. I think we're okay. I think it was something weird, probably with YouTube on the last live stream, so I apologize. But Dave and I, assuming this test stream goes fine, we'll be back on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for an hour answering any and all of your guys' Steelers questions. Hey, Mike, thanks for being here and let me know the stream looks and sounds okay. Yeah, if you have any sort of lag, any sort of buffering, please let me know. That'll be the big thing that I want to test right now. Garrett and Mark says things sound and look okay. I'm not getting a single drop frame, so that should be good. I'll hang out here for a couple of minutes. Just wanted to test this so we weren't testing it on Monday, obviously, so we didn't have to troubleshoot issues. Steeler fan says sounds good. Now I think the issue was either on my end with the connection or probably on YouTube's end where there just wasn't establishing a good connection or the server was just having a rough day or something. I'm not 100% sure, obviously, but things seem okay right now. No lag, says Rod. Okay. I think we're going to be good to go for Monday's live stream then. I'm just looking at my OBS here. Looks good. I'm just scrolling through, seeing if there's anything, excuse me, that maybe has a lag spike or something like that. Joseph, thank you for being here and let me know what's going on. I'm going to have some gifts come up, see if that does anything to it. I'm not seeing anything wrong on my end, so that's good. Thank you, AB and Pino. All right, so you guys have any Steelers questions? I'll answer a couple here if you have anything on your mind that you want to ask, and then I'll probably exit the stream here in 5 to 10 minutes. Rod says 300 over under on Fryermuth snaps. I mean, with the way things are constructed right now, it's hard not to take the over because a number two tight end is going to play about that 300 to 400 snap range, and Ebron's never been a beacon of health, although he played 15 games last year and just missed, I believe, the finale because of the COVID close contact thing. Um, so as we sit here today, it's hard not to go the over on that, or at least something right around 300. But with a rookie tight end, underclassman like Fryermuth, who played just 4 games this past year, I would still like to bring in a veteran guy as, at the very least, an insurance policy of sorts. Steeler fan says, "Gotta admit, I thought of you, Alex, as soon as I heard about teams being able to potentially hold camp off site. I appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully the team will be at Latrobe for training camp this year. I knew, and I'm sure you guys have heard the comments from Art Rooney the second, Steelers team president, about his desire to be at St. Vincent this year. But my concern was, would the NFL allow that to happen? That was always my big concern. But according to a memo sent out by the league yesterday, they will allow teams to travel. They still have to be cleared and given permission to do so. They have to submit a COVID plan and lay out kind of what they're going to do from a health safety protocol standpoint. But I'm very optimistic that they will be at Latrobe this year. Although the question will be, A, will any fans be allowed to attend? I assume so. But B, how many fans? Will there be limitations? How will that work? But certainly, if there are fans allowed, and I imagine there will be, we will do everything in our power to be at every single practice. And I'm hoping and confident that we'll make it happen. Rod, thank you for the test question. Evan Sanford starting running back week one. Najee Harris. The moment he was drafted, the second they turned that card in, that's your week one starter right there. Mike Adesso, Alex, way too early prediction for Steelers starting nickel, not named Sutton. I mean, if it's not Cam Sutton, and I think it probably will be Cam Sutton, I don't know. I think they'll have to find that out in camp. Whether that's the guy they signed yesterday, Arthur Millette, whether that's an undrafted rookie like Shakur Brown, probably would be the favorite there. But I think when you have a lot of guys who are very new to your team, you don't really know those things until you get into camp, get in preseason games, and see how those guys look in pads and inside stadiums. But I think Cam Sutton will still be your actual starting slot corner in nickel with James Pierre and or Justin Lane, not and or, but James Pierre or Justin Lane on the outside. Probably James Pierre. Yes, Kay Cabrera. Assuming we're allowed to go to St. Vincent, I will be at hopefully every single practice. So I missed it very much last year. Can the Steelers win the North with this roster? Yeah, I think they can. I think those odds certainly diminishes. It's not as strong of a roster. This year as it was last year, although hopefully the run game will be better. It's hard to imagine things will be any worse. And so that is one step in the right direction. I think you could make a case for Baltimore or Cleveland or Pittsburgh. It's going to come down to just AFC North play and who's going to do better in those always close divisional games. And so I think you can make a case for an argument for all three of those teams winning the North. Mark Ralston, as the Steelers not offering guaranteed money to free agents, cost them players. They were good undrafted free agents like Quentin Morris, Bayer, the tight end, that's a kid out of Iowa, David Moore, the guard from Grambling State. Yeah, I think their approach hurts them in some ways, although I do think their undrafted class this year, at least on paper, has been their strongest in years. And so despite that more conservative, financial approach to undrafted guys, not offering partial guarantee base salaries to kind of work around the signing bonus limit that exists. So I'm getting a weird spam thing right now. I think the Steelers still had a good undrafted free agent class led by a lot of DBs, Mark Gilbert, Shakur Brown, two guys that I'm watching, Rico Bussey, the receiver out of Hawaii, also interesting name, along with Isaiah McCoy out of Kent State. Coach says, what will our starting offensive line look like this year? My projection is going to be a core four at left tackle, Dotson left guard, Green or Finney at center. I don't know who I would go with. I think it really could go either way right now. DeCastro at right guard and Banner at right tackle. Pino is rookie camp on or not? It is on. It'll take place May 14th through the 16th for Pittsburgh, 3-day rookie minicamp. Any chance Steelers get Nelson back from ODG Dorkman? I doubt it, unless he wants to come back for the minimum. Outside corners, I know Hayden will be one. I think Cam Sutton's your outside corner at right corner in base. And then in sub package, my guess is James Pierre. Will Najee last 4 years and still be productive? I wish I had that crystal ball. I think he can be. I think he will be. But, we'll see. Hey, Dust Thunder. Appreciate it. Yeah, things are looking good from a test stream standpoint. I have not dropped a single frame. I'm looking at all the numbers here on OBS. Things look 100% normal. So that's very much a good news. The infamous Tim, don't know if you've already answered this. Who's your favorite player from our draft class this year? Man, I don't know if I had one that was so just front and center above the others, and this will be a really obvious answer to give. I really like Najee Harris, and I know there's a debate about running back in the first round. Is that justified to take one in the top 32? But man, I think Harris is a really good player overall, and it's going to help his team in a lot of ways as a blocker, as a runner, as a receiver. So I know that's a very standard answer to give the first round pick, but I think I would go Najee Harris. Couple more questions here, and then I'm going to end the live stream. Dust Thunder 9, do you think we'll pick up a tackle or corner in free agency, and do we have the money? Very little in the way of money, be 1 year minimum deals, the way it was for Arthur Millette. I picked up him, so that's probably your secondary guy. He can play anywhere really in the secondary, more of a slot corner, free safety, but has experience basically lining up anywhere as a defensive back. As a tackle, they're not going to pick up a tackle. I think they've done that with drafting Dan Moore, signing Joe Haig, Rashad Cow can play a little right tackle in a pinch. So I think a tackle will not be on their radar. Could they pick up an outside linebacker or a tight end? I think that's still possible, but again, 1 year minimum type contract is what we're talking here. Let's see. Draft sleeper from the Steelers class. Buddy Johnson impressed me. The more I've watched him, I've been really impressed by the well-rounded game Buddy Johnson. So I think I would go with him. I know a lot of people are pointing towards Quincy Roche. I think that was the best value in the draft, but Buddy Johnson I think might be the sleeper there. Steeler fan, 1933. How's the new house in the grass? I'm like, I just mowed the grass today. Yeah, it's a lot. So, but it's nice, and I do not miss the train whistle one bit. Tyler Moore, who fits in Canada's offense more, is running back two. Stella McFarland. I mean, I guess the conventional answer would be McFarland. I mean, that was his OC at Maryland, so there's a connection there. Maybe some more zone type stuff. Probably certainly would suit McFarland better than it would Benny Snell. But I don't know if they'll have it in those clear defined terms as a running back two. Are we able to sign Avery Williamson with the re-signing of Vince Williams and drafting of Buddy Johnson? I doubt it. I don't know what reason Avery Williamson would want to come to Pittsburgh. It's a very crowded room already at inside linebacker. If Harris ends up all pro and instant pro bowler, I think first round is worth it. Yeah, Matthew, I mean, who could argue otherwise if you get that kind of production from your first round pick, even if it's a running back? It's better to take a running back who's really successful than a tackle who's a bust. Malay, I had the article on him. I just clicked on it. I need to watch more of his actual tape, but very versatile. Cheap, 1 year deal. A guy that's played slot corner, outside corner, free safety, too high. Kind of wore every single hat. Played a good bit on special teams as well. Seemed to kind of find his footing, find consistent play time the past 2 years with the Jets. So I'm fine with the signing. If Lawrence flops, is it because he's a bust or because he's in Jacksonville? I mean, I think, quarterback and scheme and, coaching staff and those kind of things are always factors in why some of these guys fail. You can never go back and have a do over and put them in a different city and, from the start and see how things go. But when you are a bad team, usually that means that, coaching staff turnover happens, roster turnover happens, coordinators change, things like that. And so if you can find stability there, then you can really judge a quarterback. Probably not doing out of the park. Steeler fan anytime soon. I have not bought 22, so I think I'm just kind of taking a long break from that. Do you think Pat will be a starter or number two tight end this year? He'll be the number two, presuming they don't sign anybody else. I would still like to bring in Jesse James, but he'll be the backup to Eric Ebron. He's not going to be a rookie junior starting out of the gate over Eric Ebron, who's getting paid good money. We might not ever get a high draft pick. So, how do you think we'll find Ben's replacement? I mean, once Ben retires, then this team may start to struggle some more. And so maybe that puts you closer in that top 10-ish spot. I mean, the Bears got Justin Fields at 11, trading up for him. So you trade up, potentially with a deep quarterback class with 4 or 5 names, and maybe you can find somebody on the back end of that, or you make that aggressive move up, which I think you should do. If you're looking for a franchise quarterback, you have to be aggressive in trading draft capital to do that. Steeler fan, thank you for the super chat. You certainly didn't have to do that here on this test stream, but I appreciate it. Says thanks for getting us all through the draft. And again, Dave and I will be back on Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time with our live stream answering all your questions. Again, I just would have to test it with Dave to make sure there's no issue with that in terms of dropping frames, but I don't believe that will be a problem. Last question I'll answer here, then I'm going to take off and appreciate you guys being here, helping me test this thing. So, again, no lag. You've not had any bit of lag or any drop frames or buffering or anything like that. Just let me know about that, just for my own peace of mind. Why is anyone talking about Stefan Denmark, the corner out of Valdosta State, signed to a futures deal? Probably because not many people know that name because he's a futures contract guy that looks really impressive at 6'4", with great length and had a really strong athletic profile. But I mean, it's yet to materialize into anything substantial. So there's a lot of potential there. But we've been talking about potential with Denmark since he came out of Valdosta State. So until he starts taking steps between the lines, then it's all potential, and that only means very little right now. Thank you, the infamous Tim. Very nice for you to say. Yeah, I think Frymouth will be good. I compared him to Austin Hooper or Hayden Hurst, so not a upper echelon tight end, but a top probably 10 to 12 tight end in the NFL. Last one I'll answer. Will Ben play in 2022? I'm not going to rule it out, but I don't think so. I think this will be his last year. Chad says everything works great, no buffering. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it. So yeah, I think things are good. So I just want to do this quick test stream. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure things were working. Let me check one more time. Yeah, no drop frames at all in this live stream. So that is good. Mutated Genome going live on Monday. Today is Saturday, correct? Yeah, today's Saturday, so we'll go live on Monday. So thank you guys for helping me out. I really, really appreciate it. Again, Dave and I back on Monday for our traditional Q&A live stream for an hour, and we'll talk to you soon. So thank you guys again. I appreciate your help.